Hey guys, welcome to Tropical Flower Gardening. I'm Dr. Manisha. Guys, today's video is on Hydrangea plant. Hydrangea is a beautiful ornamental shrub, much loved and admired for their strikingly beautiful flowers with large round heads, and they are on every gardener's wish list. Gardeners often face challenges while growing them. I too had faced some challenges, and in today's video I'll be sharing my experience with you guys, so please watch the video till the end. But first, some general information about hydrangeas. Hydrangeas are deciduous shrubs native to Japan and Korea. There are many varieties of hydrangeas. The variety I'm growing in my garden is called Hydrangea macrophyllata, also known by names like French hydrangea, big leaf hydrangea, and mop head hydrangea. It is one of the most popular varieties of hydrangea and has a rounded habit with large bold leaves and attractive clusters of long blooming summer flowers. These stunning rounded flower heads vary in size from 10 to 35 cm across and are densely packed with blue or pink florets. The flowers are magical and have a unique feature of changing their colors as per the pH of the soil. The flowers are also long lasting and are widely used as cut flowers. They also attract butterflies and other pollinators. Let me now tell you about my experience with hydrangeas. I first planted hydrangeas in my garden about 6 years ago in the ground under a tree as group plantation as suggested by the nursery. It seemed the right thing to do as hydrangeas need semi-shade, which was aptly provided by the tree. And this is how the plants looked. The plants were growing well and had even started flowering with beautiful clusters of blue flowers. Guys, I don't have the video, but I had taken the pictures back then. See how pretty the plants look with large clusters of blue flowers. The leaves and the flowers both look healthy. All seemed fine for 3 years, after which I noticed that the plants were not looking healthy, were hardly flowering. The flowers were very few and small, not at all like before. This got me worried and I looked for pest attack or disease on the plants but found none. The plants did not improve even after giving them fertilizers. I soon realized that the big tree was hindering the growth of my hydrangeas, robbing them of water and nutrients. Big trees are known to compete with small plants and deprive them of water and nutrients. I then moved all my hydrangea plants away from the tree, some in containers, some in the ground as lawn border. All my plants soon recovered and started looking healthy and started flowering well. These hydrangeas are now being grown in containers as well as in the ground as lawn border, and you can see the plants are looking very healthy and are also flowering so well. So guys, this was my experience with growing hydrangeas. There are of course many reasons why your hydrangeas don't do well, why they don't flower, and I constantly have people asking me how to solve this problem. So now let me tell you how to do so. Your hydrangea plants will grow well and will start flowering if you give the right growing conditions for them. So let's start with the soil first. Hydrangeas need a well-draining soil rich in organic matter. Make sure that your soil has adequate organic matter like compost to make it rich and fertile. The pH of the soil will determine the color of the flowers. An acidic pH will result in blue colored flowers and alkaline pH will result in pink colored flowers. The duration taken by the plant to start flowering also depends on the age and maturity of the plant. When you buy a small plant from a nursery, allow it to grow well and reach maturity. In the initial growing phase, the plant works on root growth and stem development, and after about 2 to 3 years, it starts flowering. So have patience and wait for your plant to reach maturity. If you buy a big size plant, it can start flowering sooner. When the plant is small, do remember to pinch the apical bud for a bushy growth. Let's now talk about the sunlight. Hydrangeas perform best in morning sunlight of 4 to 5 hours with afternoon shade. Less sunlight results in leggy growth with few or no flowers. On the other hand, exposing them to the strong afternoon sun will stress your hydrangeas and there will be no flowers. Water your plants regularly to keep the soil moist, but do not overwater, as hydrangeas do not tolerate soggy soil. Water well in hot summer months and mulch the soil to retain moisture, as hydrangeas are not a drought tolerant plant. Both underwatering and overwatering can reduce flowering. Hence, water when you find the topsoil dry. If you are growing them in containers, ensure that it has adequate drainage holes or it will result in root rot. Hydrangeas do not require a regular dose of fertilizers. In fact, fertilizers high in nitrogen results in lush green leaves and no flowers. You can give phosphorus-rich fertilizers like bone meal, fish meal, rock phosphate at the end of winter or beginning of spring, which will stimulate flowering in the summer months. Loosen up the soil lightly and sprinkle the fertilizers around the periphery of the plant and cover with potting mix and water well. You should also remember to loosen up the soils lightly every month. This will ensure good aeration of roots and they can absorb water and nutrients better, which results in healthy growth of your plants. Hydrangeas are summer flowering plants. The flowering in my garden starts in March end and it continues till July end. This video is made in May end and the original color of the flowers was blue, but I could not make the video earlier as I was traveling. Now the color is somewhat fading. Guys, I have not added anything to my soil to change the color of the flowers. I am happy that the plants are healthy, they are growing well and flowering. Coming now to pruning. Now pruning is also an important factor which can affect flowering. Hydrangeas need little pruning. You can do light pruning after the flowering season is over by July end or early August. Remember to remove the dry flowers, the weak, damaged, dry and dead stems. Excessive pruning will hamper flowering if your plant flowers on old stems. This variety of hydrangea which I am growing in my garden flowers on old wood or old stems, that is on previous year's growth. So if you do heavy pruning, there will be no flowers in the upcoming season. There are some varieties of hydrangea which flower on old as well as on new stems. You will have to observe your plants and figure it out for yourself which variety is growing in your garden. If your plant is not flowering, please look for pests, disease and fungus. In general, hydrangeas are not very prone to pests and disease. If you do find any, treat with neem oil and liquid soap spray. Propagation of hydrangeas is super easy from stem cutting. Propagation can also be done from ground layering. Hydrangeas make excellent container plants. Grow them in a big size container at least 12 inches in diameter, as they will outgrow a small container. Hydrangeas are a perfect shrub for landscaping. Show off these delightful flowers by placing the containers on your porch, patio, deck, driveway, and they will surely be admired by your guests. In ground, you can grow them as lawn border, as hedge, in flower beds, in group plantation or as accent plant. Let me now summarize the reasons for no flowers or less flowers on your hydrangea plant. So what are the reasons? They are poorly draining soils, less water or overwatering, incorrect sun exposure, over application of fertilizers, especially the nitrogen rich fertilizers, improper pruning, pests and disease, planting under a tree, crowding the plants together or against other plants. So guys, do check regularly and provide your hydrangea with proper care, and soon your plants will burst into these magical and mesmerizing flowers which will brighten up your garden. Guys, this was a long video, but I'm sure you found it useful and informative. Please post your comments and like and share this video, and I'll see you in my next video. Until then, take care and happy gardening.